96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation.
The Foundation with Hearts Grants is brought to you by Alive, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, Grand Bahama News, Marco's Pizza, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and Ron's Electric Motors.
Let's go! Look at the Bahamas, tell me what you see. A beautiful sunshine sparkling in the sea. A country blessed with water's history. We pause to celebrate our golden jubilee. A nation built on hospitality. Our culture, our people, one legacy. Bahamas, oh Bahamas. Bahamas, oh my Bahamas. Bahamas, oh Bahamas. Bahamas, oh my Bahamas. I went to one just yesterday. The crowd them rushing like it's Spain. Exuma beach is far too sweet. The swimming pigs like meat and green. Look up them down in Abaco. You won't believe how big they grow. The fishing good in Bimini. Catch yellowtail abundantly. Look at the Bahamas, tell me what you see. A beautiful sunshine sparkling in the sea.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company here on this Wednesday. The Pumpkin Pageantry is all together now. It is absolutely gorgeous. I know that you have all your makeup on and all the Pumpkin Pageantry as you go out to Rawson Square. It's a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're excited to be able to get that speech from the throne from the most honorable Governor General Cynthia Mother Pratt, as she brings the legislative agenda framework, the speech from the throne from Rawson Square for her government. Her government, the PLP, continues to be able to speak about these things. Guys, I see that you guys texting me. The lines are going to be wide open today. I want to talk about it with you. If you didn't have an opportunity to kind of go out there like me, I was running up and down all morning, thanks to all those persons who continue to be able to support us here at the foundation. They want me to be able to. Howard and Decency and Order, I ain't got to call my name. They've been absolutely wonderful. I'm that retired teacher in Chippingham who's committed to being able to assist us. We thank you, my dear. Howard, you ain't got to call my name now. Guys, it's a beautiful day. Make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper. I don't know where you are in the city today. If you're out there and you're out and about making things happen, if you're on the road, I'm hoping that you're not north in Nassau on West Bay Street. That thing is going to be absolutely crazy today. Had an opportunity to kind of peek over, just tiptoe over to Market Street. So I know that it's crazy in that space. I want to shout out to my good, decent friends over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They can be able to assist you as you need to get your car insured right now. I can feel it. I can feel it. Every single track road and cut and juke to stay off the main road because Operation Secure City is in full effect. Squeeze, because it's not that much. Make sure you go down there and check out my good friend Ethric Bow and his wife down there, always being able to assist, and lovely staff. Get you guys together. 3411 AFS, 3411 AFS. If you want to be able to do some advertising and sponsoring with us as we prepare ourselves to move over to China, as we prepare ourselves to do a great deal of things for the end of the year and moving into a celebratory period a celebrate beyond politics. Talk to me. Just be as decent as possible. As we move into this celebratory period and find ourselves moving into a more festive time for the end of the year, you want to put your advertising out there, please give me a call. 827-0111, 827-0111. It is a gorgeous day, and I'm grateful to be in the land of the living. Now, can I talk like this? I mean, is it me? Or, I had to open the windows. You ever drive like a long drive, right? Maybe I-75, I-95, you headed north. Maybe you headed northeast, northwest, wherever you headed, right? But you got this long drive. And it's your leg, right? Everybody's sleeping in the van. And you got to do your best because you got another hour and a half to go before you could switch people. Talk to me. Everybody's sleeping. And as you drive up, the sleep just start to whisper to you, it's time to go to sleep. And then you doze. You got to open the window quick. You got to slap some water on your face. You got to do everything because you have an obligation to hit this hour and a half. Is it me, or did the speech, was it nostalgic of this sort of a posture? Is it me? Was it just me? Is it just me? I'm sorry. Whilst I'm enthusiastic and excited about the fact that we have a Governor General who identifies so personably with the community and the quote-unquote grassroots that continue to be able to champion. She continued to champion their cause. And they hoist her up on their shoulders as a woman of the people, for the people, by the people. This legislative agenda, this speech from the throne, was lackluster. Can I say that? I'm sure this is far too early. It was lackluster. Now, I didn't hear the last 7-8 minutes of the thing. Running in the studio trying to do what I have to do. I'm waiting for the script, the hard copy, to be able to send to my phone so I can be able to go through it and dissect it accordingly. But some things popped out. I want to talk like this. We have a responsibility to talk like this. In the speech, they spoke relentlessly, ad nauseum, and drawing comparison and the contrast between what was being said in the blueprint for change, what they applied, and what their expectations are to go from here. There is still a gulf, a gap, a limbo area as it relates to what's really happening with the blueprint for change. There is, I didn't write these things down. I heard her speak to these things, and I don't want to misquote and say these things out of term. So I'm just waiting for the script. Guys, if you do have the script, if you guys are listening in the office of the Prime Minister, I know you guys are out there, you're probably eating shrimp cocktails right now and quiche, right? Is that what you do? You're probably doing your thing right now. But if there's someone in the office, if you're out there, please, 827-0111, send me the script so I can look at it and kind of, I just want to do it justice. I want to be as clear as possible at these things. A few things popped out in my head. The LNG bill, or the act, coming to the forefront to talk about these things, about renewable energy, something that Leslie Miller, in his particular capacity, has been pushing for a very, very long time. They started to talk about bunker, being able to hold that in bulk, the LNG. This is something that also I think we would have heard former Senator John Boswick talk about, right? So these aren't necessarily new. And the one thing that remains consistent every time we hear these pronouncements about forward movement is how far behind we really are as a nation. And as persons say that we're 10 years behind, 20 years behind, this speech from the throne solidifies that. These enactments that are spoke with and pronounced with such enthusiasm, and this sort of an exuberance that says, we're going to do this. This is 20 years old. This is 10 years old. People don't even do this anymore. What are you talking about? This is what I'm getting. And this ain't chop the thing down. This is dissect. Let's dissect, identify, And just like conversations, sometimes you just listen and sweep out what you don't need. And then you ingest the nutritious parts for you. For the most part, this has been recycled junk food. I want to be as decent as possible when I say that. I want you guys to give me a call today and be a part of the conversation. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere for the family of violence, 242-300. Yeah, Dwight's texting me now. I told you it was going to be long. I thought the thing was going to be long, right? But however it is, we're here live and in full effect. I want you to be a part of it. The text lines are open. The lines are open. I have someone who's supposed to be joining me in the studio. Let's see if this person is going to be coming in. It's a Wednesday panel discussion. You are on the panel today. Hit me up. Like I said, you know the number is 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere for the family of violence, 242-300. 5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Back to business, back in the saddle. Take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
Dengue fever symptoms can range from mild to severe. Some common symptoms include fever, headache, nausea, vomiting, rash, muscle, bone, and joint aches and pain behind the eyes. Persons experiencing fever and 2 or more of these symptoms should see their healthcare provider, go to the nearest clinic, or call the Dengue Fever Hotline from Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. at 802-1143 or 814-4015 for assistance. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
It's Whopper Wednesday every Wednesday at Burger King Nassau. Make your Wednesday sizzle and sink your teeth into a flame-grilled beef patty topped with tomatoes, fresh-cut lettuce, mayo, pickles, ketchup, and sliced onions, all on a toasted sesame seed bun with fries for only $5.95, including VAT. This Whopper Wednesday, grab a friend and head down to your favorite BK Nassau location for a flame-grilled Whopper made your way with crisp fries for only $5.95. Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
Guardian Radio and the Foundation are on the move.
Bahamas, this one's for you.
SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Every Thursday, the Foundation with Howard Grant will highlight small businesses throughout the country, far and wide. Your products, services, prices, and personality. We want to hear it all. Get your 30 or 60-second advertisement heard on air at a fraction of the cost. We here at the Foundation understand the times and don't want you to be left behind. With Guardian Radio, you reach your specific demographic, and it is unmatched.
We reach thousands daily.
Get your products off the shelf and your services in their hearts. Small Business Thursdays with the Foundation, only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. For more information, call 302-2300 or the Help Me Howard line at 827-0111. SBT. Small Business Thursdays. Get your business moving today.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, the Foundation. On this gorgeous Wednesday afternoon, live and in full effect, we are here living, talk to me, in the land of the living, in the midst of the pomp and pageantry, as we continue to pay homage to Her Majesty heirs and successors. Oh, His Majesty. I just want to be as decent as possible. Y'all don't think I'm mocking the people. I just feel like Bridgerton, like the Bridgerton. My wife liked that stuff, right? We're here, we're talking about it. Everyone's out with the big hats today and being able to identify the tradition that exists within the space of our culture that continues, in my view, that continues to keep us in this sort of in a state of limbo. You ever try to, you know the terminology when people say you hit the ground running? That means that you're in the air and you just keep kicking because of lack of friction, lack of movement, and the gravitational pull not being able to work in that space. You don't have that forward movement, the mobility. You don't have that. And pomp and pageantry is doing something to us. I see within the jurisdiction, we're seeing within the why am I thinking? What I don't know. I just went blank. Within the court system, we're seeing a lot of persons gradually and slowly move away by being able to take the wigs off, and so we're hoping with that could just be a simultaneous shifting of some of the traditions that don't necessarily feed the progression and growth of our nation. I'm going to talk about it. Speech from the throne today, Mother Pratt, Cynthia Mother Pratt, being able to put that out there today and speak with such passion and enthusiasm about what her government actually did. The lines are open, guys. Let me take this telephone call. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard. You said the speech was it lacks luster.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's almost next to impossible. Let's suppose now you are someone with real strong Christian values, and you grow up with these values, and now you are given a speech to read that you didn't write. Obviously, some things you would probably like to change in it. But wait, before I go any further, does she write her own speech and say, "This is where I want my government to go"?
No.
Right?
No.
Good. So you would feel frustrated because you're trying to dance this puppet game. And you're standing a bit like Her Majesty's puppet, but obviously it's the, like you say, it's just the games that we play, and we like to have the pomp and pageantry and never get anything done. So we just keep going around and around because that's what the loyalists have left us to do. We need to stop it.
We do. And I agree with you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so very kindly for that. I feel like y'all, I'm hoping that you get me. And oh my God. I just need you to know that I'm not here to be offensive. I got to give you this sort of a preamble. And unlike the constitutional preamble, I want to stick to it. I want to stick to it in thought, word, and deed. And then what we have left undone. Talk to me. I want to be able to apply y'all know as an Anglican when I say it like that, right? I want to be able to apply it and make you to understand when I deliver this preamble, this is not to be offensive to anyone. You have to take off this kind of a cloak of offense, this sort of a sensitivity cloak that you continue to be able to adorn yourself in on a day-to-day basis as you leave your bed. You put on the robe of sensitivity and step out into a most aggressive space that is called the Bahamas, and you expect us to dance around some stuff for you. I'm just not prepared to do it. But just know that I'm not trying to step on your toe. Let's just be very clear about that. So, as I say that, as the preamble, let's lay it out. This is why some people, in decency and order, did not receive that, was not even recognized into the ascension for that Governor General's position. Do we say gubernatorial? It's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult for someone that is infused, that continues to be able to bleed and breathe vision, ideas, concepts, that you can see these things almost tangible in the evenings. And you wake up and you write this thing right away and you can articulate it effortlessly into a vision that people could run with. It's difficult for you now to play second fiddle and just say, just read the thing on the paper, Buller. Just read the thing on the paper, Buller. We didn't tell you to say it like that. Political organizations know exactly what they need in terms to be able to push their legislative and personal agendas within the confines of their parties ahead. And unless and until we start to see persons with that level of creativity bursting out of them, stepping into positions of power, then we know that no government is serious about this. I still can't cut this thing down for you because I don't want to be indecent and say to you that I'm listening to the speech from the throne and I want to give you the specifics. I want to give you the specifics because for me, when we saw Ryan Pinder in his particular capacity as AG and also Latreille in his particular capacity as I think the Director of Communications under the Office of the Prime Minister, right? As I suppose one of the press secretary, right? Latreille Ramming. When we saw them speak and indicated on their feet, flat-footed, right? Speaking to the nation, to the media, and indicating there'll be no change. They'll bring everything back. And when we pushed back with that and say, well, why did you prorogue the House of Assembly? Then we saw a shifting for the cannabis bill. We saw a shifting to be able to identify some things and probably fortify it. I don't know, right? You like how you do some padding, you pad these particular things, and stuff some new things in there to make it feel more robust. But listening to this today, it didn't provide me with a well-rounded scope of one, why you prorogued the House of Assembly in the first place, and two, whether or not this particular PLP administration, this New Day administration, which is now, based upon the opening of the House of Assembly, considered New Day 2.0. Talk to me. This is what it is. This New Day 2.0 administration is now in this posture of being able to say the same old, same old. I don't know. Y'all talk to me. I want to be decent. I want to be decent because people are mad sensitive in this space and time that we live in. And their sensitivity doesn't bode well for the growth and development of the country. I just want to say it like that. Let me see if I can read a couple of these texts, guys. Send me a text, 422-4796. 422-4796. Yes, I got a couple of texts of persons asking me, what time are you leaving, 2 p.m.? Yeah, we here for the whole show. We jamming. I got to jump on a plane right after, but we jamming. I feel like I tell y'all too much of my business, but we jamming to be able to do these things, right? Guys, hit me up with the text. I'm going to read one of these texts right here. So the text says, your fanciful Mother Pratt will change everything. Notion means absolutely nothing. There will continue to be non-transparent, hand-nodded, self-insured contracts to who they want to tax the blood out of us and make up for those shortfalls in revenues. Lust for money and marijuana. I feel like this is something texted, right? Like hard, you probably broke your phone, right? Lust for money and marijuana will destroy another generation, just like cocaine did in the 80s. I literally see no need to go through any of what was said. It means nothing. You started off, it was wild how you started it off. Your fanciful Mother Pratt notion. I mean, who had a fanciful Mother Pratt notion? I thought we talked about this. Mother Pratt was a salient, sound, sober choice for an administration who wanted to be able to push their agenda, their ideas, and get through without any external objections as they shuffle information before the Governor General to say this. We talked about this. right? Somebody says, they laugh, say LOL. Say, it's you. You texted me, say, it's me? Did I have a fancy, did I have a fanciful mother product notion? She's going to change everything? Let's see if we can get the next text, right? This is Boy Howard. The Senate is full of alphas, not the betas. It says, great show as usual, Howard, Thanksgiving coming up. You could tell people who can't, could please don't sell no food in advance, please. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you mean cook. Who can't cook? Please don't sell no food in advance. Well, how you expect them to get their money? This is marketing 101. If they cannot sell, if they cannot cook, get the money quickly. So when the people taste the food, the parboiled rice, said, y'all, let's cook. Y'all need to stop. You need to stop. I'm not getting your business, but you need to stop. Okay? Anyway, that's not getting the people business. So this next text, it says, great show as usual. How could recycled food be decent, Howard? You might as well say that it was garbage. It's called objective criticism. The PLP so hot with me. No, man. I think I helping them. I think I helping the PLP by being able to be constructive in my criticism. Y'all need constructive criticism. I think each and every one of us need the kind of constructive criticisms that we can be able to push aside the negative notions and apply to us what is important for growth and development for the future. That is where sustainability is. In this speech from the throne, I heard absolutely no sustainability. None. There is nothing sustainable here. Nothing. There's nothing that we can be able to identify for next generation growth. If you're feeding the children in the morning, whatever it is, we have to take into account and consider what's happening, not just locally, but globally. And whether or not, as an island nation, we can be able to access the funds to ensure, because you can't come out in the morning and say, children are not eating. And they're not going to be as successful as they can accessing the information and living to their full potential if they're not able to get breakfast. We're going to kick off the breakfast program. Then you kick off the breakfast program, and in 6 months, you realize the thing is absolutely unsustainable, that you can't afford it. And then, like former administration, ministers take on a position to say that we're spending $1 million a week. $1 million a week to send people eggplant and a can of tuna with 4 pieces of green pea. I mean, the people tell me the picture. They send me the picture. This is what you're saying. Done fancifully. Blaps, soft and quick winks about what you and your administration is doing, and you pronounce it, charging the atmosphere with this sort of idea and this posture that we can grow and have no weight in this thing. And in 6 to 12 months, when you cannot feed these children, what are you going to say again? As we step into another general election, you continue to be able to give your opposition fuel to chop you down. This should not be a program that the government kicks off. Not social services, not the government. See, oh my God, I got to put on my consultancy cap again for you. Let's just be decent. You do not do programs like that. It is absolutely unsustainable. You cannot feed these children grits and egg and tuna every Jesus day. You ain't got the money. You don't have the money. Not every day. Because if you can feed them every day, my child hungry too. That's just life. My child hungry too. Daddy, can I have some breakfast this morning? No, baby. Breakfast to school. Let's be clear about this. In 12 months, when you're unable to do it, because you're willing, but you're unable to do it, it's going to be tumultuous. So, consultancy cap, here we go. Identify programs, individuals, NGOs in the community, and public-private partnership. Clip ribbons, smile, pat on the back. This is what we're doing. The government believes in this organization to ensure that they take care of this constituency, this area. This is how we're supporting them. And if it doesn't work out, then the weight, the burden wouldn't be on this administration. for creating a concept that is absolutely unsustainable. And I only say it's unsustainable because food prices are fluctuating. We just most recently heard Rupert Roberts talk about the fact that food prices are going to skyrocket to some 30%. 30%. A can of tuna costs $1.10 now. It's bananas, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't tell you how much corned beef costs. We haven't eaten that thing in years. But these are the conversations that need to be happening around the table. It cannot be all sycophants from a political standpoint that say, this sounds good, let's put it in there. There has to be someone that provides you with that balance to say, how are we going to sustain this? Because the only objective is consistency and sustainability. Not just for your administration, but for something that can be stapled and etched into the fabric of our Bahamian history to say that the PLP New Day administration did this. 323-623-2, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the Family of Islands, 242-300-5720. Hit me up anywhere from the on the text, 422-4796. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Yes. Good day, Howard. How are you?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
Good. Listen, I'm glad you mentioned this thing about breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the government understands what trouble they're getting themselves into, because most of this is just an assumption. I am almost certain most of the children that are going to get this breakfast is of illegal immigrants.
Mm.
We're already providing school, busing, school material. I don't mean to pick on them, but it's business. It's just business.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I ride down Cowpen Road and I look down through them roads, and you can't see the end of the road.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if our government know who all and what all is down in them. Because you could have a whole set of people that we are taking care of that only surface like after 10 or in the evening, because they go to the night, they work night jobs or whatever, and they're having children on top of children in the back there.
Mm.
And like somebody said this morning, they're sending their money back to Haiti. If they deduct putting it in our system, they are doing that left, right, and center. And if we don't do, I hate to keep picking on them, but they are here in the majority. And they're going to keep coming because why? They hear about all the things that we offer, and we're stable, and we're giving them this, we're giving them that. The children now will be fed at school. What else are we going to do for them now? And then the taxpayers, we are absorbing this. And we are paying higher taxes so they can look good when they say these things now. They're only saying these things, but it's not with their money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they expect me to make it paying these absorbent bills and taxes, and then you just giving away the things.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
how
agree
am I
with you.
supposed to feel about that?
I agree with you. When I started it off, I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. You sound good. It sound like I know you, but you're a decent man. God bless your soul. Right? Now, I want to say this. When I started it off, I want to be decent. I had no coffee this morning. I'm drinking a little bit now. Praise God. Let the decency kick in. I want to be as decent as possible when I say this. I started this off and said to you that as we continue to proclaim, exclaim, make these sort of pronouncements and charge the environment with a language that seems new to us, new in this space, politically and otherwise, we are looked at from an external standpoint and from those who have international exposure and continue to travel in those spaces. We look at these things and say, oh, this is why people say that we're 10 years behind. Consultancy cap again. Let's put the consultancy cap on. Bling, bling, cap on. During Dorian, my God, we have time for this. It's 2 minutes. During Dorian, right? When it sat over Abaco and all those persons had to come flying here to Nassau. And there was this fear that rose and kind of grew into the bellies of those Nasuvian persons, those Bahamian persons, those residents that live in this particular space on the island. There was this sort of a swelling that grew in them. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Is it going to be like a 2010? Are we going to know who these persons are? We came up with the concept, and I say we, my company, because I know a lot of other people was thinking about it because we saw a lot of apps come to the forefront like this. My company came up and pitched the government a concept that says we know how we can be, and I step by step from the end of the Kendall Isaacs thing, stadium, step by step, how to document them, how to be able to take their pictures, their posture, how to be able to track them, and this sound like an infringement upon your rights. It's really not, because this happens at, guess where? No place else but the hotel. And you put on those bands that open the doors, that do all these things, that give you access. It's also access and opportunity for tracking device. Let's just be very clear about these things. Now, maybe we don't talk like this on radio, but this is what it is. And if our governments are not sharp enough to identify and do the sort of assessment to know exactly what's what, we will always be in this position. Always. There is nothing fortified with technology, articulated with a very clear construct and the architecture of sustainability. There is only conversation to exist right now. We got to stop this. When we come back, we can chop this thing down some more and talk about it. I just got the speech from the throne. It just hit my phone. I want to talk about it, guys. The lines are going to be wide open. The Foundation with Howard Grant, 96.9 FM radio. Take a break, get to news, be back after this.
Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation. Foundation.
For many people, a breast cancer diagnosis can feel like a battle they're facing alone. But we're all in this together, because breast cancer patients are our mothers, sisters, daughters, our friends. Women need to be assured that they have access to the screening they need and the support they deserve, because every woman matters. Every story is powerful. Every voice makes a difference. Join Guardian Media Group as we pink up the month of October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Show your support. Place your ad. Give your story, your voice in the Nassau Guardian, Star 106 Hits, Guardian Radio, or Hot 91. For more information, contact your account executive or call 302-2300. Join Guardian Media as we motivate our community by supporting a powerful cause and raising awareness for Breast Cancer Awareness Month this October.
Foundation. Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation. 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 The Foundation. The Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, on this gorgeous, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? It's a gorgeous day, man, here in the city for all those persons who are going to be able to celebrate and rub shoulders with all the dignitaries in our country, private and public, out there on Government Hill, being able to do those things with that fresh wall around the place. This is going to be exciting. I wanted to take time to do that today with you guys. I thought I could do it, right? But, time just would not allow me. It just would not afford me the opportunity to do that. So forgive me, and I'm hoping that you guys are having a very good time. I look forward to things like this. Don't mind me saying all these things. I look forward to this. I enjoyed that so much when I was there with my mother and she got herself, inducted, whatever that was going on, right? When we had the speech from the throne, and it was the opening of the parliament. Let me be decent about that, and I enjoyed that thoroughly, man. This is one of the times I will never forget. So I'm hoping that you enjoy yourself, and all those persons who were given an opportunity. Congratulations to you. We're now understanding that Wayne Monroe will be the leader for government business in the House of Assembly, right? Followed by his deputy, who would be, I think, Pia Glover Rowe in her particular capacity to be able to do those things. So we're looking for that and looking forward to being able to hear some more things. We're also hearing that the Office of the Prime Minister will absorb the portfolio for the Ministry of Social Services within the Office of the Prime Minister. So I'm thinking, didn't I say this? I'm thinking that this will fall under Miles LaRota's portfolio, but we're waiting for the specific pronouncements and the announcement coming to the forefront. Can we talk just a little taste of politics? Don't fight me, man. Don't fight me. I ain't gonna be here for a couple of days, right? I want to talk with you. Talk to me. I want to talk to you because I get calls galore. Galore. You remember galore? I get calls galore about who is the prospects and potential candidates or those persons vying either from a pronounced official capacity or just making speculatory, just taking the assessment, right? You know, sometimes you got to be able to put your little feelers out there. But nonetheless, there is significant conversations coming to me about what's going to happen, excuse me, in West Grand Bahama, who is looking at that position. And can I tell you one of the names that came to the forefront? Now, I don't know if this is speculations. I don't know if this is concrete. But persons are, I don't know, because people just put your name out there. People just put your name out there. Several people call me and say, Howard, boy, you should run independent in West Grand Bahama. I said, no, thank you. I must take my woman and my family $400 for you to be able to tell me, yeah, man, Howard. Hi, how you doing? My name is Howard Grant. Listen, I want to be able to be a representative in West Grand Bahama and Bimini. I think I have the excitability, the passion for community. I think I can do it. Yeah, man, Howard, you straight, man. You straight. Howard Grant, 4 votes. Well, Jesus, all my cousins in this constituency, they vote for me. My mommy said, baby, well, I vote for you. I think your daddy vote for you. That's it. You all need to stop it. You need to stop. You think I must waste my time in those areas? Yeah. Put our name on it and give them the $400. Do that. You do that. You think I got time to do that? You all need to stop it. But the information coming to the forefront is, drum roll please, what I've heard, understand, I don't know whether it's true, Shane Gibson. Have you heard that? Have you heard the same thing? Let me read these names I get here. The lines are open, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-6742. There's a couple of things also. I see y'all starting your stuff with your war room and all this kind of stuff like this. What you need to do is get educated first. And I think that's why people take umbrage and be so offended when you do things that you know nothing of. You know absolutely nothing of. Somebody sent me this thing. Look on GuardianTalkRadio.com. GuardianTalkRadio.com. I can be able to show it. I can put it on my Facebook page too. Let you say it. Because this has to be one of the silliest things. I won't say stupid, but I just want to be decent today. Everybody dress up. This got to be one of the most silliest things I've ever seen. Can you see it? Okay, here we go. Let me read it. FNM prospective candidate Ricardo Grant trying to steal land from former FNM MP Verne Grant in 8 Mile Rock. It is alleged that Ricardo disputes that the land belongs to his side of the Grant family and not to Verna. This has to be one of the most stupidest things I have ever read in my life. But the people send it to me. People who have absolutely nothing to do, unemployed. I'm hoping that you're not getting a 52-week check to be this silly. You do not know 8 Mile Rock. You do not know how the Grant family is structured, and you talking foolishness. But this is your caliber of politics. This is your level of politics. Ricardo Grant, his daddy, Pat Grant, my cousin, our family. Everyone have their own piece of property in Hannah Hill. I told you before, Hannah Hill was truly Grant's town. Everybody get their own plot. So your generation go from C to C. I told you this before. Ricardo Grant ain't got to come ask nobody for nothing because he's a Grant like we is a Grant. And Nico them got the same, all of us in one yard, one big yard, humongous yard. The yard about 4 or 5 miles long. You need to stop. This is only for clarification purposes of me being able to say that to you. And that's one. Two, second thing. If you are a proverbial, quote unquote, for want of a better terminology, if you are an outsider coming into a space that you have no idea how to navigate, do not do so with the belief that naivete will give you an opportunity to access this proverbial kingdom. The devil is a liar. Now, I can't tell you if Grammy say you got to take a chance. Take a chance, baby. We just sitting down in the front of the television screaming, football today out of Florida, $325 million. And so we sitting in the front of the TV, get excited as little children. Oh my God, if I win $325 million, I will buy all the cars. And we started to talk like this. And as we talk like this, we find ourselves in the position of being able to hear sound wisdom from our grandmother. She said to her 9-year-old and 10-year-old children, she said, baby, you can't win if you never play. So take a chance. We're not going to fight you for taking your chance. Take a chance and be able to put the thing on the table. If you want to take a chance, take a chance. But don't say, I ain't tell you. Because Golden Gate's only in the middle of Carmichael. Let me just be decent. Just a little decent. In the middle of Carmichael. It don't stretch far and wide all over. We're going to see how the thing play out, right? But I agree with the chairman of the the chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, Fred Mitchell, that they're going to send competent, capable leadership within that particular sector. So we're looking to see those things, and everything's out there. Guys, please be a part of the conversation. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300, 5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. On the text, before we get out of here at 2 p.m., I got to run as quick as I possibly can. Run. You can't catch me. I'm the Gingerbread Man. We're here in the studio with none other than my good, decent friend, adorning all of his red paraphernalia today. I can't even get away, man. Adorning his red paraphernalia today, excited and exuberant on this day that we are continuing to be able to identify the speech from the throne. None other than Garth Roseborough. God, say good afternoon to the people. Pull the mic, say good afternoon to the people out there.
Well, good afternoon, Bahamas. Good afternoon, world. You know what happened today, Howard Grant, is that I didn't expect you to still be here.
I was supposed to be gone.
Yeah, and so I had already purposed in my mind I was going to remove a beehive from Love Beach. And for those people who know anything about beekeeping, bees do not see the color red. Mm-hmm. So that's why I got on the red. Oh!
The yellow bee can't see the color red.
They can't see the red.
This is heavy what you're saying to me, sir.
You know, sometimes...
You're heavy. This is heavy.
You know, when you go to these different rallies,
mm-hmm.
you wear what the people wear, so they don't know.
Yeah.
You wear red to the red, and you wear yellow to the yellow, and you wear green to the green, and black to the black.
So you blend in like a chameleonaire.
That's what you got to do sometimes.
This is heavy stuff, sir.
And so that you're not.
This is heavy.
Notice, but I want you to know one thing. Truthfully speaking, this is one Bahamas. And if you ever feel that you are alone in this country, you are never alone. There's always somebody watching. There's always somebody listening, and there's always someone who can tell a lie. So you got to be careful in this country, and only until you become bulletproof, where you don't care about the lie and you don't care about the story, could you probably exercise to be the person that you were born to be. And so, good day, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, Mr. Howard Grant. Thank you for inviting me again.
Absolutely, my brother.
And I came through the rain this day for you, because when you call, I will answer, because you are the foundation. You are Howard Grant.
I appreciate you, my brother. I can see if I can get this microphone fixed for you right now, as they continue to be able to do those things, right? Go ahead, say one or two things.
One or two things.
Okay, yeah. So yeah. Okay, so we got to do it. The mic was turned down. I apologize about that. Now, I don't know if you had an opportunity to be able to hear, like you said, I don't know, you were busy today. I don't know if you heard the speech from the throne.
No, I did not hear the speech from the throne. Like I said, I was about to do a beehive, and I was doing preparation for that. With these financial times, people talking about carbon credits and money and where money coming from, etc. Garth Millard rose for us to make sure he makes his money, because he wants to pay his bills. And right now, these days, sir, I don't know what the speech of the throne mentioned, but this ain't no time to just look at a throne. You got to kind of make your own throne. And unfortunately, many Bahamians are like that, Mr. Howard Grant. All of these activities are going on today. I made several phone calls. I asked several people if they're downtown, and they said, listen to me, sir. I have to go to work. I got to find this money. And so are we as selfish people, Mr. Howard Grant? Are we self-centered? Are we not patriotic? Are we not nationalist? Why are so many Bahamian people not concerned about what's happening in Parliament Square? That's where I'm at today. But I will join your conversation if it makes sense. I'll be happy to chime in. If it doesn't make sense, then we'll chuckle, we'll smile, and we'll laugh.
I can tell you one thing. A lot of these things don't necessarily make sense to me.
It doesn't.
I know. I mean, I just want to be as decent as possible as I say this, because there's nothing in this particular posture and language. As we read this, we identify the two Bahamas that we continue to talk about. The one Bahamas where the oligarchs continue to be able to get themselves proverbially filled and ensure that all things go through them. They are the proverbial eye hole, the needle hole that everything goes through, right? This is how you have to disseminate the wealth in our country. It is led through the oligarchs in our country, those persons who hold steadfast in their posture and position in industry. And then there's the other Bahamas, the Bahamas that is absolutely broken, the Bahamas that needs breakfast every morning, the Bahamas that is in an economic crunch, in a position where we have to continue to find out and look to the government in the absence of a minister who has passed away, the Minister of Social Services. The Bahamas is waiting with bated breath, not to see his seat fulfilled, because you can't fill OB shoes from a political standpoint, but the necessity to identify the person who's going to sit in the seat of social services to see if this person has a heart for the people. This is where the country is now. There's two countries we're dealing with. The oligarchs is going to be able to take on a posture and position and say that, well, you wanted renewable energy, you wanted this posture, you wanted these particular things to happen. We're going to provide you that opportunity. Though it may be 10, 15, 20 years old, it's coming now. And as it comes now, this is how we're going to structure this for us. For you, your gas is still going to be $6 and some cents, $7 a gallon. For you, you're going to pay exorbitant BPL bills. For you, you're going to have nothing but frustration, as there is a strategic approach to ensure that there is an exodus of all the banking structures in your country. So when you call the bank, my God, you got to call 98 times to try to get something done. And they're sending all our parents and grandparents to the ATM. For you, that's your Bahamas. For us,
I
it's a difference.
I see the multiple sides of this coin, almost like the Bahamian 15-cent piece. I don't know if y'all even remember the 15-cent piece. with the pineapple on it.
Yeah,
I think
I
it was the
remember that.
pineapple. Okay?
I remember that.
To be an oligarch is to play the game of monopoly or the game of cash flow. When you're engaged in a game such as this, there's only two outcomes. You're either going to win the game or you're going to lose the game. There's no middle ground. So for an oligarch, I don't think there is any compassion for the citizenry of the Bahamas, because at the beginning of their day, they are off to the races at 4 a.m. in the morning while many are still asleep. And at the end of the day, they want to count their money in thousands, not in dollars like most of us, in thousands. As for those of us who are the citizenry, let's just be fair. We were born, in quotes, broke. You know, these people who go to church say, oh, I blessed and highly favored and God got me and I born rich. My father's rich in houses, and I hear you, but guess what? Could you buy me lunch today? No, you cannot. You don't have the money. The truth be told is that the oligarch's game is against you. The politician's game is against you. The preacher's game is against you. Just be truthful about it. Everyone wants your money. Everybody wants your property. Everybody wants your children and your children's children to continue to work for them. There is no wealth for you to have. There's no common wealth to be shared. And until you come to the reality that nobody is on your run, it's going to continue to be as such. Now, I want to share a quick story, Howard Grant, if I may. A story of how, for years, I went ahead and supplied a family with water, simple water, for 3 years. They were coming to my property. They were using my water for 3 years. They were taking their feces and throwing it into the bushes next to my property during this time, until environmental health had to get involved. I took the initiative to pay for the toilet, the face basin, the 4-inch pipe, the 1/2-inch and 3/4 pipes, the couplings, the fittings. I did the labor at no cost. The other day, as you know, Howard Grant, I was away in Florida. I'm not Florida, but I was in Michigan. And I got a call from my plumber that he had to get a bucket of water from the same people who I supplied for years. Do you believe, Howard Grant, that there was a contention? Do you believe that the gentleman said to him, it's the principle of the matter that you need to ask for water? Now, I'm not there. It's my property. I'm not there. But you need to ask to use this water. So when I returned, I said to the gentleman, listen, man, for years, we've had a good relationship. You were opposed to the plumber getting a bucket of water from you? And he said, yes, it's the principle, Garth. I said, man, come to think about it, you could have primed my pump, get your 5 gallons of water back, and take it home for all I care. I just wanted my pump to be working. No, it's the principle. Long and short of the story, Howard Grant, this country we're trying to build, we blame the oligarchs for everything. We blame the politicians for everything. We blame the preachers for everything. But at the end of the day, are you your brother's keeper? We have a selfish nation, and until we learn how to share and how to care, ain't none of us going nowhere. And I mean that with all my heart. Yesterday at some water service, I went to get water for a young lady, and I think the water's $2 at these little filler things. And I asked, how much is the water? He said, it's $2. I had 3. And I watched a gentleman of Haitian descent ask another young lady who was a Bahamian, why did you not fill up 2 of your 5-gallon containers? She said, because I'm short $1. He reached into his pocket and gave her the $1 and helped her to fill up her bottle. I said, sir, that is just so impressive. I said, who are you and what is your name? And then I realized that he was of a Haitian descent. I couldn't tell. He was neatly dressed. I mean, he's a handsome guy. I said, my Lord. I said, you are just so impressive, man. I wish more people could be like you, right? Now, guess what? When he reached in his pocket, he only had a $5 bill. And he could
God, I can't get beyond this thing.
No, I got to say this, man. And he said, man, now I need $1. So I said, well, I got $3. You might as well take one of my dollars. I says, man, what do you do? He says, I repair cell phones. I said, man, I got a cell phone in my backseat I want you to repair. He said, what's wrong with it? I said, it needs a SIM card tray. They forgot to put it in. He says, Call me tomorrow, 10 o'clock. I'll put it in for you for free. This ain't no full-blooded Bahamian I talking about here. This is one of them people who you trying to keep from coming on the boat. Now, I ain't saying we need to be soft on immigration. Read me loud and clear. But not everybody coming on them boats are against you Bahamian people. There are some people who are here who are going to help us to build a better country. We got to find these people because a lot of our Bahamians, we just fall it off. You don't even want to give me 5 gallons of water. Come on, Bahamian people, talk to me. 5 gallons of water. Don't even cost $5 or $3. 5 gallons of water.
God, the one thing that is consistent in our country and that spills out in the pronouncements, whether it be the House of Assembly, whether it be the posture on a political rally, as they continue to be able to speak to crowds, whether it be the speech from the throne, whether it be in the private sector or the public sector.
Yes.
The one thing that has been consistent, a consistent thread that pulls together, that is the PPP right there, that thread that pulls together everyone with one tone,
Yes.
one voice, one concept, is capitalism.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And until we understand it, we're not going anywhere. The average Bahamian has to understand that, Howard Grant.
But capitalism is the proverbial love vine of a society that blossoms hibiscus. What am I saying?
Be decent.
Capitalism is a sucker. It's not designed to, it is an invasive species in our country. This is not who we are.
Tell me who we are, Howard Grant.
Who we are is a community who understood that segregation was rich and real. Who we are is a community that understood that it's us and them, not necessarily against anybody, but the us had the necessity to survive. There was no external influence, there was community. And we, the over-the-hill people, did everything we could to survive. We came up with old sayings, concepts, and ideas of how to be able to keep the village intact. ASUs. I keep telling people, no one in 8 Mile Rock, I know, went to the bank to build their house. If you ever drive to 8 Mile Rock, beautiful homes. No one in 8 Mile Rock, I know, Howard Grant, me, 42 years old this year. I don't know no 8 Mile Rock people when I was growing up to go to the bank for money. 8 Mile Rock people build Freeport. West Grand Bahamian people build Freeport. And so the talent that existed in that community, we utilized it. And you know how we paid them off? With grits and tuna, with a case of calic, with a nice laugh, with a party, with an exchange. This was the bartering of society. Capitalism has destroyed the concept of our society. When one time ago, as a young child, I knew and understood the desire for me to be able to, the coming of age of a young man was being able to get a car, you move around, access, you can pick up your sweet thing in the can, carry the Columbus Theater, carry the Galleria, whisper in the ears, do whatever you have to do. Bang. The coming of age now, in this shifting society where capitalism sits paramount, adorned in all the regalia of war, got all the tin suit on, everything. That's what capitalism looked like to me, right? Capitalism has shifted the mindset of our children where they ain't want no car no more, they ain't want, but they can thief that if they get a gun. We have to get back to community. And let's pull this together. This speech from the throne ain't helping me. This speech from the throne and posture that exists about a time of old, and old people that continue to be able to get together in their small corners in these eateries to talk about yesteryear and what worked yesteryear, and strategically, and maybe they're naive to it, but they're not including a younger generation, is not causing this country to grow. That's it. And that's why I said this is lackluster for me. It speaks to the language of inclusion, just like the former administration, to talk about youthful inclusion, and they don't even include their own political organization. The torchbearers are left out in the cold.
You do understand, Mr. Grant, that all of this is deliberate. You do understand, Mr. Grant, that the grade point average and the success rate in our schools is all deliberate. you can appreciate, sir, that it is easier to be traditional when it benefits you and your loved ones and your family and your lovers. This is the language of their success. The language of the people is nothing short of a loud and resounding cry. And the louder the people cry, is the more deliberate they become. And this is why if the people do not stand up, I mean, I'm listening and I'm not saying anything out of the way. I want to say this loud and clear to everyone listening to me today. Did both sides of the divide promise a Freedom of Information Act? Did both sides of the divide promise us the transparency of VAT? Did both sides of the divide promise that they were going to bring jobs to the nation? Yet we see the dying of the businessman, the middle class businessman, the poor man who's trying to raise his socioeconomic status, but yet he's being strangled on a daily basis with taxations. Is your country, your government really, truly in love? You, Howard Grant.
No.
And if they do not love you, what is now going to be?
You don't experience, nor should you expect love. Your government, or how should I say it? What analogy that I can?
You got to be kidding me, because that's why these people love their government so much. No. They've learned to love their flag. They've learned to love the flamingo.
No.
They've learned to love the lignum vitae and the yellow elder. They've learned to love. No. Listen, you remember that show when they asked the young person, what is the national fish of the Bahamas? Remember what they said?
Tuna.
No, the person said grouper.
Grouper.
And they asked them, what is the national tree? And they said hibiscus. You don't remember that show? No. There was a ride on this bus and this conversation.
Oh, yes. I think Jokosi did it.
Yeah.
I think Jokosi.
Yeah, Jokosi, Joma. Yeah. All right? These young people have been trained to just accept and get a pat on your back, and we smile and we laugh. We say, hey, that's so funny.
Yeah, but see, let's touch this like this. I got to take a break real quick. But let's touch it like this, and let's be very clear about this. Governments have no responsibility to love anyone. They only have to enact. They have to execute. Those that seem infatuated and enamored, who are like Pepe Le Pew. You remember like Pepe Le Pew always they say, right. But the truth is that the government doesn't have affection for you. They have responsibility to enact. Those things that have been stuffed in the pipeline, each organization, FNM, PLP, they say that we've in the pipeline, they keep stuff in projects, whether it's a letter of intent, a memorandum of understanding, whatever this is, what is it, a heads of agreement, they keep stuffing it into the proverbial pipe. That pipe is a black pipe. Is what I keep telling people. That pipe is black. It's not red or yellow. It's a black pipe. It's for the strength of the people, like the black triangle in the flag. After there is a signature, and we look over your shoulder, oh man, my God. After there's a signature, and we identify there's transparency and everything is all the I's is that we know the KYC, and you stuff it in that pipe, it becomes the project of the Bahamas. It don't belong to your political organization no more. It belongs to the government. The government have to ensure that this is done for the Bahamian people. Those sycophants and those people that continue to cheer for the government, they are groomed and blossom through their political organization. That's just what it is. So if you see any fanfare for the government, it's really not for the government. It's for their political organization or their administration in office right now. These will be the exact same people that call us in due time and due season when the shift is on in this country. Horrible the government of the Bahamas is. It's just what it is. It's absolutely bananas, and critical thinking is out the door. In fact, it never even entered the room.
I know you're going to a break. Could I say something mischievously, and then you resume after the break? I went on the beach, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, and I says, everybody knows I'm not a fan of the leadership of the Free National Movement. No fan at all.
Previous or current?
Current. I don't see any strength in it. I've never.
What about previous? You good with that?
Come on now. It's been a long time
Go ahead,
since I've thought
I'm
about
sorry, I
that.
didn't mean to get
But
you
I don't want people to believe that I'm biased and I'm against organizations. I'm against the way they play. So I said to them on the beach, I says, you know what? I have a executive team for the F&M that I could possibly believe in. Do you know who those 3 people are? Or should we wait till after the break?
I'm going to hit this quick commercial break. Let me take this quick commercial break. 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant, the Foundation. Quick commercial break. Be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation.
We've been with you from the very start, leading the way and providing you with the best in primetime sporting experiences. From one goal to the next, you can count on us for full access to the best sports channels at home or on the go. Make Rev your only choice. Visit rev.bs. Every match, every game, every moment. Rev, your home for sports.
America completely run out of it.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. Buy your local paper at Freeport Convenience Stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Want to reach your Grand Bahama customers? Then call Barefoot Marketing at 827-4578 or message them for ad rates via their Facebook page. Advertising opportunities now include classified ads too. Keep up with all the latest Grand Bahama news in the Nassau newspaper every Tuesday.
At Marco's Pizza, we never skip on quality or ingredients. Save some cash and satisfy your cravings with our new carry-out medium 2-topping pizza for only $12.50. That's right, order 2 of your favorite toppings like sausage and green peppers on 1 medium pizza for only $12.50. VAT inclusive on our app or online. Made daily with fresh dough, our signature sauce, and fresh cheese. Only at Marco's Pizza. Restrictions apply.
Struggling to repay your loan? Let us help you get back on track with payment terms that suits your financial situation and improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Inquire about our restructured loans today. Call us at 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
Absolutely bananas. I can't wait to chop this thing down. I am telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant in your company. I'm just going through this thing here. I got a text, Howard, did they put in the cannabis bill? I'm looking through it right now. I told you I missed a little portion of it. Didn't have an opportunity to read the entire thing. But the National Service Bill, right? National Youth Service, I think they call it the National Service Bill, right? We're going to have to find out more depth and detail to this, right? They fortified what they were doing for urban renewal. We heard some stuff about National Forest Bill, the Bahamas Wildlife Enforcement Network Bill, land registration and adjudication for disputes. From this is going to be a good time when we chop this up. I got to be able to get one of my learned guys to sit with me as we chop this thing down. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the studio with none other than my very good friend, Garth Roseborough, being able to chop this thing down with me today. And just looking at this, Garth, listen, I'm impassioned about it. I am. And to my cousin, who is texting me to find out if they did anything for cannabis, as I skim the surface of this here bill, this speech from the throne, I know that he actually indicated that they were supposed to do something, but my brother, I see absolutely nothing. Can I say that? Is it safe? Is it just me? Remember, I'm only scanning the thing. So I'm looking through it to see exactly what's what. Local bills, the National Development Food Plan, liquid natural gas bill, renewable energy bill, consumer protection legislation, online platforms, registrar general bill, the digital asset register security industries bill, the legal professions amendment bill, the yacht registry bill, intellectual property legislation, economic empowerment zone legislation, right? Economic empowerment zone legislation must be a reflection of what was done with the over-the-hill thing, right? Or the PLP's version of what was happening with the over-the-hill thing, right? Bahamas National Development Plan, care and protection, national health insurance. I don't see it. I don't see it. Is it just me? I don't see it. The breakfast program, pronounced and articulated. Personal securities. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a commitment that they've made to the Bahamian people. And I know that this traditional concept that exists in this space that says, I don't know whether or not we should do this, or I don't know whether or not we should do that, may push back on some things and you have to go to public consultation. But this has been a long time coming. And they've made significant commitments to not put this thing in here. I'm looking in here. I do not see it. I do not see it. Anyway, we're going to talk about it next week, Tuesday, God Spare Our Life. You'll be I can do a fresh show so we can be able to chop the thing down like that. Garth, I'm here, but I'm really not. What I mean by that is that this country that I love so much, I love this country so bad. I thought about it the other day. I thought about whether or not I really want to be rich. I thought it to myself. I said, I don't even want to be rich. I feel like I'm rich already. I'm serious. That might sound silly, but I feel like in this country, as I look at the world and what's happening in other spaces in the world, whether it's America, whether it's Canada, because you have to be balanced in your approach. You have to be balanced. You can't say you want to pursue all the tangible things of life and realize that there is a morally corrupt society that exists in North America, whether that's Canada or America, whether there is a lack of spiritual commitment and alignment in other spaces. South America, there is significant violence, right? In Europe, there is still this sort of segregation that exists and superiority, plus the sunny in there. So you keep looking around the world to find out whether or not you could fit in these spaces. And you come back home. Whether it's to the Bahamas or whether it's to the region, and even regionally, we shine. This is the best country in the world. I love this country. I'm so grateful to be born here. And so absolutely mortified that these men don't have the love for this country. That they don't show the love for this country in the way that they need to in their legislative application and pronouncements and posture and position. It's a disappointing thing.
It goes back to the 5 gallons of water, Howard. As long as they have water.
But they want help Haiti. They want to find they want the world to assist with a Haitian-led solution.
Okay. Let me go back a bit. Just about the other day, we had an electoral cycle where men and women, sons and daughters of this country, walked the streets, knocked on doors, sat in your living rooms, drank from your half-clean or your half-dirty glasses. So, some of y'all, I ain't drinking from y'all house. I just being honest. I ain't want to eat nothing from y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
Especially in them 3 years, you ain't had no water with your cousin.
Apparently they heard the Linden could do it good, and so they've been drinking from your dirty glass. They ain't been to your house since.
So Linden had all the penicillin in the world to come to them.
And he put his finger down his throat and vomited back out. But, he was a decent man.
Praise God. He act like he like it. He's good. It's a good politician.
They came to your house and they asked you for your 5 gallons of water, and you gave it to them. You did not hold back. Based on the color shirt they had, they either get water or they get juice or they get beer or whatever they get.
This is a different conversation because it's not their fault.
But I'm trying to say something to you, Howard. You're talking about them loving a country, and I'm telling you,
okay, go ahead.
Now it's time for you to get your 5 gallons of water back, and you can't get it from them. It's because when you say they don't seem to love the country, understand that the only thing they really love about the country is the 5 gallons of water that they're never going to give back to you. There's a one-way street of reception. There's nothing that says distribution. There's my pocket. But you must have holes in your pocket to give me more. And guess what is so embarrassing? They're willing to pick the pennies that we don't use anymore off the street and sell it to the Chinese for copper. That's the type of people we got in our government. You, on the other hand, can't even find $1 to take care of your situation. Yesterday, it was $5. Tomorrow, it's going to be $6. In the next year or two, it may be $7. Who knows? It's just strange about all of this, Howard. You and I, who live over the hill, just don't know how to complain. We just don't know how to say to them, if you come back to my yard again for more water, you know what the people will do with the bucket and the pail. I leave that right there in Jesus' name.
I can talk, just so it's your analogy, let me be decent in these same spaces and talk about these things. You know, sometimes that's how they bring out biblical text in it. This man start to talk about wells and water. He start to talk about water. And Genesis 26, 18 and 22 start to talk about long before this time, Abraham had dug many wells. After he died, the Philistines filled the wells with sand. So Isaac went back and dug those wells again.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy's get preachy. That's a whole preaching message right there. It's get preachy bad.
I got no offering for you.
Sometimes, as we continue, be able to mope about the injustice that existed and the access that existed prior, and those that we put in leadership that tower over us proverbially, that shove sand back into our wells, we, the second generation, who has a responsibility still? Because a wise man still leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Abraham did with the wells. The Philistines put sand in the well. Isaac came behind again. That's our responsibility. Come on now, that's the message for the day.
Well, if Sir Lyndon Pilling is the father, if he's the father of the nation, then I ask you again, who are the prime ministers after Sir Lyndon who was willing to dig that well that we can drink again?
None. There's no about saying that. I don't know if you want me to skirt around the issue. None. Everyone. Let me tell you something. I can tell you this story. My God, how much time we got? We got 7 minutes. I can tell you this quick story. I realized this about myself as a young man. I love my daddy, but not the way I love my mommy. I love my daddy, and I carry his name. That does something to my psyche. But everything I do with an acknowledgement, this is my father's name. And I have to do something with this. Subconsciously, my desire is to ensure that my father is proud of me. That's a subconscious thing.
Okay.
Just about it. When you find psychiatrists and other persons, psychologists, start to talk about a man and what a man does and how they're so angry with their father because he was out of their life, is because they want to learn from their father and they want to make their father proud.
That's a decent model.
That's just what it is.
Family model.
They want to make their father. They want instructions, because we don't get no instructions in this life. We don't come with
Not make their father pride. Make their father proud.
Make him proud.
Don't use the word pride.
No,
okay?
no,
I just
pride.
want to make sure.
No, pride.
Yeah, you know what I say. I ain't gonna stop. But you go ahead.
We right here together.
Yeah, but you proud. I mean, you proud. Yeah, you're in pride. You proud.
So, as I grew and I understood my responsibility, my son also wants to make me proud. Now I just getting somewhere with you.
That's a good thing.
The 4 men after Sir Lyndon Pinlin, who is the nation's father, only sought to do one thing.
Listening.
To make their father proud.
Have you ever listened to the voice of Obi Pinling?
Yeah, I remember I listened to Obi.
I'm going to say this on the air. I don't know how I overheard that conversation. Somebody called and the phone was open. And I listened to Opie Pinling speak. Listen to Garth Maynard Roseborough today. I did not know how profound,
You can't
how
miss
in
this.
depth.
If you listen to my daughter speak, you hear Howard. You
Opie
cannot miss this stuff.
Pinling is like a stick of dynamite, but I guess he never had the passion to come to the forefront. But his father's DNA runs through his blood. The fella is totally dynamic, and the passion he spoke with and the love for the Bahamian people. I was next to tears. I was sitting in Solomon's parking lot out west.
Eavesdropping.
And I couldn't hang up the phone. I was being rude, but I could not hang up that phone. I have never heard someone speak so eloquently, so on point, so passionately. And I said, boy, if he BSing me, he got me. And there's very few people, Howard Grant, that can get my dad like that.
Let me get to the point. The point is, you start to talk about the nation's next, the nation leaders.
Mm-hmm.
You see, when we understand our responsibility as fathers, as men, our objective is being concrete in our conviction to know that, okay, we have done enough to make our fathers proud. We now have the responsibility to execute the purpose that we've been called there to. Because your purpose is not only making your father proud, your father will always be proud of you. But you've never committed yourself to the purpose of being able to fulfill the Bahamian national agenda. None. For the most part, I always say our former prime ministers has done very well. And I always put Hubert Ingram at the top of that.
Oh, you do?
He is. I think
Well,
he
I
is
understand where you come from.
my generation.
8 Mile Rockefeller.
From my generation.
I know your ma. Decent lady.
From my
I got you.
generation, Hubert Ingram
Uh-huh.
has been the strength that emulates this idea of a path to lead the country in, but not the embodiment of that father-like quality that Lyndon Pinland had.
But they call
and
him
I
Papa.
think, no. He says his grandchild call him Papa, not us. People just start saying those
Listen
things.
to me. I listened to the Honorable Perry, right
You
Honorable.
realize you got 3 minutes left.
Yeah, Perry Gladstone Christie.
Go ahead.
But when I hear about those anchor projects, you forget about anchor projects, say.
That don't matter.
I heard you, but I'm saying in its verbiage, oh boy, I had goosebumps. I
Yeah,
had
but
such
this is
great
the same
expectations.
prime minister who started to talk about bridging the gap. And bridging the gap was the inclusion of technology that he rejected, both youth and technology. So the only concept that existed in the former prime minister's mind with Anchor Project is what he saw his proverbial father, the nation's father, do.
Yes.
So they only seek to emulate what was done before without understanding and experiencing the world for themselves to put something that's relevant to this dispensation, this generation, and this time now.
You know,
They running after their daddy to make their daddy proud and leaving us here who are evolving, the Bahamian young men and young women who are evolving.
you know something?
They're leaving us behind.
I know we got 1 minute left, but I'm going to say this to you, Howard Grant. And I'm going to tell you what we do not understand about our fathers. And I've seen it time and time again in this country where fathers have created great institutions, great business entities. The children don't seem to understand the sacrifice that daddy had to make to be where he was. We emulate daddy. We like what daddy had. Daddy had a nice truck. Daddy had a nice car. Daddy had a nice wife. Daddy had all these things. But where did daddy get that money from? Because while your lazy hip was in the bed sleeping, daddy was toiling. Now, when Sir Lyndon Pinling was the father of this nation, there was many things that we did not understand. We didn't understand that he inherited a country without any money. No money. You came in as a son and you had a treasury. Sir Lyndon did not have a treasury. And so in terms of his 25 years of prime ministership to lift this country to where it was, these other sons of the political father of Sir Lyndon did not have that experience to know what it is to be broke, and they have to make something out of nothing. That's all I have to say, Mr. Howard Grant. Maybe that's where we're dropping the ball. Maybe they're just too, as it were, what shall I say, entitled. But at the same time, listen to me carefully. We have to lift each other in order for us as a society to understand one thing, that there's much wealth to be obtained. And the only way we're going to get this wealth, to make it common, is if we stand together and make it a reality.
My brother, I want to thank you so very kindly, ladies and gentlemen. I got to cut it short today. I know you want to be able to talk the way that we're talking. We're going to have more and more of these conversations going forward right here on the foundation. Next week, God Spare Our Lives, we're going to have deeper conversation and dissect the speech from the throne. What's in it, what's not. Whether or not it's inclusive, it includes me or not. Let's be very clear about these
Well,
things.
you're so pensive today, it's unbelievable. You flying today. You out of here.
I fly in today again right now.
Well, God be with you, sir, in your travels.